Good morning, students. Today I am going to discuss session 6 of your chapter 6 from class 12 biology syllabus. The name of the chapter is Molecular Basis of Inheritance. Already we have completed 5 sessions from this chapter, and from these 5 sessions we came to know a lot of things about molecular biology. The first thing is the different types of the experiment on the genetic material. The second thing is the characteristics of the nucleic acid. Third thing, structural features of the DNA. Next, DNA replication, and the last of the video I have discussed the DNA transcription process. In this video we are going to discuss the genetic code. So let's start the today's class. First thing, today we are going to discuss the concept of gene. So first you should know what is the meaning of gene. So already we have discussed this thing, that what is the meaning of the gene, the concept of gene. Already we have discussed in our chapter 5. So this gene is the basic unit of inheritance that express the specific characteristics. So already we have discussed so many times that what is the basic meaning of the gene, the basic function, the basic definition of gene is actually the basic unit of the inheritance pattern that express the specific characteristics. So in the year of 1857, scientist Gregor Johann Mendel, who is called as the father of genetics, conducted hybridization experiments with the pea plant. Okay, and he called them as the factors. So already we have discussed all those things in our chapter 5. Next thing, in the year of 1909, Danish botanist Jonasson proposed that each portion of a chromosome that controls a phenotype is called a gene. So each and every characteristics actually controlled by the gene. So I think already all of you know this thing, that each and every characteristics in our body is controlled by gene. Like my skin color, my hair color, my eye color. So all those characteristics actually controlled by gene. So you can say in this way that the portion of the chromosome, the segment of the chromosome which controls a phenotype. Phenotype means the outer expression. It's called a gene. Okay, so this gene actually is the Greek word. The meaning of this Greek word is the to give birth to. Next thing is the in the year of 1941, George W. Biddle and Edward L. Tatum discovered that genes control the production of enzymes. So they proposed this hypothesis is the one gene, one enzyme hypothesis. One gene, one enzyme hypothesis. So according to this is actually the subject of the biochemical genetics. Okay, and according to scientist Garrod in the year of 1909, that he pointed that the recessive disease alkaptonuria was an inherited defect in the metabolism. Okay, so there are so many types of disease, there are so many types of characteristics are there which controlled by the enzymes. So they noticed all those things, that something is happened without enzyme, something is happened with enzyme. Okay, so this inherited genetic defect appears due to the deficiency of an enzyme. After that he discovered that each and every gene is responsible, each and every gene actually produce the enzyme. So that's why on the basis of the above findings they gave actually the core hypothesis, that one gene one enzyme hypothesis, that it states that what is the meaning of one gene one enzyme hypothesis, that it actually states that one gene synthesizes one enzyme which is responsible for controlling any one biochemical reaction. I am repeating again, what is the meaning of one gene one enzyme hypothesis, that it states that one gene synthesizes one enzyme which is responsible for controlling any biochemical reaction. Like one example is the hemoglobin. Okay, hemoglobin of our blood consists of the 4 polypeptide chains, 2 alpha and 2 beta chains. So the concept one gene one enzyme polypeptide chain hypothesis is considered to be more nearer the truth. So this is the concept of gene. In the year of 1944, Scientist Avery announced that DNA is the substance which is responsible for the heredity. DNA is the substance which is responsible for the heredity. In the year of 1950, Watson and Crick discovered chemical structure of DNA. So you can say in this way that gene is actually made up of the specific sequence of the DNA nucleotides. Already we have discussed all those things so many times that after that scientist Benzer proposed modern concept of gene. Okay, and according to him gene is actually classified into 4 parts. One gene has total 4 parts: the cistron, the recon, the muton and the replicon. I am repeating again, according to scientist Benzer, the gene is actually combination of these 4 parts: the cistron, the recon, the muton and the replicon. Now I am going to discuss each and every definition of each and every part. So cistron, what is the meaning of the cistron? So it is the structural gene. So it is the structural gene and it is functional unit of DNA molecule that codes for specific protein. So already we have completed the transcription process, and from this transcription actually you came to know a lots of things about the structural gene. So suppose this is one DNA strand. Okay, so from this DNA strand one RNA strand is formed. So one RNA strand is forming. Okay, so in one RNA strand this is the 5 prime, this is the 3 prime portion. Okay, after that what happened, that this portion is the 5 prime capping portion, this portion is the tailing portion, this 3 prime portion is the tailing portion. Okay, so after this 5 prime portion, this portion is the small portion is the untranslated portion, UTR, untranslated portion. Okay, the same thing is happened in the before 3 prime end also. So this portion is also the UTR region, and the rest of the portion, this rest of the portion is the structural gene. This rest of the portion is the structural gene portion. So this is actually the meaning of the cistron. So this is the functional unit of DNA molecule which codes for the specific protein. This portion codes for the specific protein. Next thing is the recon. So next part is the recon. So it is the unit of DNA that undergoes the recombination. It is the unit of DNA which undergoes the recombination. Next thing is the muton. What is the basic definition of muton? That it is the unit of DNA that capable to undergoes the mutation. Already we have discussed the mutation portion in our chapter 5. There I think you have seen this thing, that DNA undergoes the mutation and it leads to some lethal disease or any kinds of the lethal infection. So it is the unit of the DNA which is capable to undergoes the mutation. And the last is the replicon. So it is the unit of DNA that undergoes the replication process. Okay, so this is the unit of DNA which undergoes the replication process. So one DNA has these total 4 parts. I am repeating again: the cistron, the recon, the muton and the replicon. Cistron means the structural gene portion. It actually codes for the specific protein. Recon means it's the unit of DNA which undergoes the recombination process. Next thing is the muton. It's the unit of DNA which is capable to undergoes the mutation. And the last is the replicon. It is the unit of DNA that undergoes the replication process. Okay. Next thing is the genetic code. So what is the meaning of the genetic code? This is our today's topic, that what is the basic definition of the genetic code. That I think already all of you know that thing, that DNA and RNA both actually made up of the several nucleotides. The DNA is made up of the deoxyribonucleotides and the RNA is made up of the ribose nucleotides. Okay, so one DNA or one RNA has several nucleotide bits, several nitrogenous base. Okay, suppose one RNA strand. Suppose this is one RNA strand. Okay, so many nitrogenous bases is there: A, T, U, C, G, all those things are there. Okay, so the three specific nucleotide sequence that codes for the specific amino acid present in DNA is called the genetic code. These three specific nucleotide, okay, this three specific nucleotide sequence which codes for the specific amino acid present in DNA, that's called the genetic code. Okay, so this is the basic characteristics feature of the genetic code, that three specific nucleotide. Next thing is the codon. What is the meaning of the codon? The three specific nucleotide sequence actually which codes for the specific amino acid present in the mRNA. Okay, already we have discussed that in our body normally there are three types of RNAs there: mRNA, rRNA and tRNA. mRNA means the messenger RNA, rRNA means the ribosomal RNA, and tRNA means the transfer RNA. Okay, so these three specific nucleotides, suppose this is the three specific nucleotide, this AUC, this sequence actually codes for the specific amino acid. These three specific nucleotides suppose codes for one specific amino acid like the valine, suppose. Okay, so these three specific nucleotide actually codes for the specific amino acid present in the mRNA, that's called the codon. Okay, anticodon. What is the meaning of the anticodon? Just opposite to the codon. So from the term actually you will get to know easily that what is the meaning of the anticodon. The opposite of the codon, that's called the anticodon. So the three specific nucleotide sequence which codes for the specific amino acid present in the anticodon arm of the tRNA is called the anticodon. Okay, so here also the three specific nucleotide sequence which codes for the specific amino acid present in the anticodon arm of the tRNA, that's called the anticodon. Okay, so this codon is actually visible in the mRNA and this anticodon is actually visible in the tRNA. I am highlighting this portion because this is important for your exam, that this codon is actually present in the mRNA. Okay, and this anticodon is actually present in the tRNA portion. So this is the basic difference between the codon and the anticodon. The basic difference between the codon and anticodon, that codon is actually present in the mRNA and anticodon is present in the tRNA portion. Okay, and always remember these anticodons are complementary to the codons. Okay, this codon and anticodons are complementary to each other. Suppose this is the codon strand and this is the anticodon strand. Suppose, so what happened? Suppose there is a one sequence is there. Suppose AUC. So the anticodon terms will be the UAG. Okay, why this is U? Because in the RNA the T is absent. Okay, thymine is absent and in place of thymine uracil is present. So this is your codon and anticodon thing. So this codon is present in the mRNA and this anticodon is present in the tRNA. So this is your basic thing of the codon and anticodon. Next thing is the general features of genetic code. Next thing is the general features of the genetic code. So there are so many types of the characteristics or features of the genetic code. The first feature is the genetic code is triplet. First is the genetic code is the triplet. So each codon is made up of three specific nucleotides. Each codon is made up of three specific nucleotides. What is the meaning of this? Suppose this one mRNA strand, actually one RNA strand, mRNA and tRNA, anything. So one codon is made up of three specific nucleotides. Suppose AUG, okay, CAC. So this is actually these three specific nucleotides. So each and every codon is made up of the three specific nucleotides. Next thing is the genetic code is universal. So each codon codes for the specific amino acid in all living organisms. Suppose this AUG actually codes for one specific amino acid. for all living organism. It's not like that AUG actually different in the human, then AUG different, this AUG codes for the another amino acid for the tiger body, AUG codes for the another amino acid for the human body. It's not like that each codon codes for specific amino acid in all living organism. Next thing is the genetic codons are no overlapping, that adjacent codon never shares their nucleotides. It's not like that this AUG is one codon, okay, and CAC is one codon. So it's not like that this C is actually paired with the G. It's not like that AUG codon it shares this C codon also, this C nitrogenous base also. It's not like that actually the adjacent codon never shares their nucleotides. Okay. Next thing is the genetic code is the commaless. So there is no gap between the neighboring codon. There is no gap between the neighboring codon. Okay. So last thing is the genetic codon is degenerative in nature. So more than one codon codes for single amino acid, because in our environment actually the quantity, the number of the amino acid is very less than the codon. Okay. So we have total 64 codons. We have total 64 codons. So it's not like that we have total 64 amino acids. We have total 21 amino acids present in our environment. Okay. So that's why more than one codon codes for the single amino acid. Suppose one amino acid is valine. So suppose one amino acid is valine. Okay. So this valine, suppose there are 3 to 4 codons actually codes this valine amino acid, like AUG, like GUG, like CAC, like all those things, like the AGC. So there are several codon actually codes for the single amino acid. So just look at the example, like GUA, GUG, GUC and GUU actually codes for the valine. So these are the each and every codon. What is the meaning of codon? That this is actually made up of 3 specific nucleotides, 3 specific nitrogenous base. Okay, and the main nitrogenous base is AGCU. Okay, so by the permutation and combination we are getting actually 64 codons with this 4 nitrogenous base. By this 4 nitrogenous base we are getting total 64 codons. Okay, so this is our genetic code table. This is our genetic code table. Okay, and for exam, for your board exam, for your school's exam, this genetic code table is very important. This genetic code table is very important. Okay, so I am repeating again and again, this is very important. Okay, so now I am actually describing that how you will write this genetic code. So just look at the board. Okay, so it has total 3 parts, the first letter, the second letter and the third letter. Okay, so just look at the board, just look at the diagram. So there is actually 4 nitrogenous base, this U, C, A and G. Here also U, C, A and G, and here also U, C, A and G. Okay, so just look at the writing portion, the types of writing. That first letter is actually for one nitrogenous base is carrying only one box. This U is carrying one box, C is carrying one box, A is carrying one box and G is carrying one box individually. Okay, the same thing is happened in the second letter also. Thus U is carrying one box, C is carrying one box, A is carrying one box and G is carrying one box individually. Okay, but in the third letter what happened, that UCAG is carrying one box, UCAG is carrying one box, UCAG is carrying one box and UCAG is carrying one box. Okay, so this is your third letter. So in this way you have to write. In this way you have to write. So this is the first base, this is your second base and this is your third base. Okay, this is your first base. Okay, this is your second base, this all those are the second base and all those are the third base, because we need 3 base. We need 3 base to form one codon. We need total 3 base, 3 nucleotide base to form one codon. So now I am coming to this point, how one codon is formed. So suppose this first box, okay, I am actually taking first box, that EU, okay. So the first thing is the EU and this EU. So one codon is formed, that EU, okay. Next thing is the EU and C, okay. Then second codon is formed, that UUC. Next thing is the UUA, okay. Next the codon is the UUA, and last thing is the UUG. This is the UUG. So this is just like the Punnett square of this monohybrid and dihybrid cross. This is just the crossing thing. So first complete the first base into second base into third base. Again the first base into second base into third base. Again first base into second base into third base, and again first base into second base into third base. Okay. So first complete this whole table. Then I can jump this C. Then I can jump in A. Then I can jump in G. So in this way you have to actually write the genetic code. And within this genetic code portion, so you have to remember actually each and every amino acids name. You have to remember each and every amino acid name. Okay. And within there is total 64. There is total 64 genetic code, and within 64 genetic code 3 is minus. So we are getting 61 amino acid codon, which actually codes different kinds of the amino acid. We are getting 61 codon, and this 61 codon actually codes the amino acid. And why I am actually removing these 3 codon? This UAA, UAG and UGA. So these 3 are the stop codon. So this stop codon means that these 3 codons actually do not code any kinds of the amino acid. So that's why they belong to the stop codon. And when during the time of the translation process, when in the mRNA portion the stop codon is showing, so it means the translation process should be stopped. Okay. And there is another is there, that AUG. AUG actually codes the methionine, and this is the start codon. This is the start codon. Okay. So what is the meaning of the start codon? So when on the mRNA, when the start codon is shown, so it means the procedure will be started. Okay. The procedure should be started. So this is your whole genetic code. This is not any more difficult thing, but you have to practice it properly. So first what you have to do, and during the time of your exam you have to maintain this sequence, this UCAG, this UCAG and this UCAG. You have to maintain this sequence, otherwise full genetic code will be changed. Okay. So you have to maintain 2 to 3 things you have to remember during the time of your exam. The first thing is you have to maintain this sequence, this UCAG. Okay. And after that, after completing the whole base, please count that 64 codons is actually there are 64 codons or not. Okay. So if you have 64 codons, it means your genetic code base, your genetic code table is correct. Okay. Because how you will count these 64 codons is not like that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not like that. That in one box 16 codons are there. Look at this one box. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. Total 16 codons are there in one box, in one row. Okay. And we have total 4 row, because we have total 4 base, that 1 row, 2 row, 3 row and 4 row. Okay. So 16 into 4 equals to 64. Okay. So this is your all those things you have to keep in your mind during the time of your exam. Next thing is some terms are there, like the initiator codon. So here the AUG is the initiator codon, which initiates the protein synthesis. It codes for the amino acid methionine. You have to remember the amino acid name. Next thing is the terminator codon. So among 64 codons, 3 codons are there, that UAG, UGA and UAA does not code for any amino acid. Okay, so that's why these are called the terminator codon or nonsense codon. Next thing is the genetic code is unambiguous. So each codon codes for the specific amino acid and only one amino acid. Okay, the codon UUU codes for the amino acid phenylalanine only. Okay, genetic code is the unidirectional. This codon reads only in the 5' to 3' direction. Okay, and the last one is the obel base. So in each codon, third nitrogenous base is the less specific. Just look at the board. Only the third nitrogenous base is actually the non-specific. The rest two base is specific. The first two bases are specific, like UUU. Okay, UUC, UUA and UUG. So first two bases always will be same, like the UCU. Okay, next UCC, next UCA. So first two bases always will be same. Okay, but the third nitrogenous base is less specific. So this is one kinds of the characteristics of the amino acid, the characteristics of the genetic code, and this is called the obel base. Okay, next thing is the next topic for today is the transfer RNA or tRNA. Okay, so the RNA which carries and transport the activated amino acid to the site of the protein synthesis, that's called the tRNA. Okay, so it represents about 10 to 15% of the total RNA in the cell, and the polynucleotide chain is folded on itself to have the shape of the clover leaf model. Okay, so scientist Robert Holle in the year of 1965 discovered this clover leaf model of the tRNA, and for this work he got Nobel Prize in the year of 1968. So this is the structure of tRNA. This is very important for your exam, this clover leaf model of the tRNA. So this tRNA is actually the single stranded polynucleotide chain. I think all of you know that the RNA is single stranded polynucleotide chain. Okay, so this tRNA is also single stranded polynucleotide chain. It folds in some regions and resemble as the trifoliate leaf of clover plant. So it contains 4 arms. The first arm is the amino acid binding site or acceptor arm. So this is your acceptor arm. Okay, second is the T-Saisi arm and the loop. So this is your T-Saisi arm. Third one is the DHU arm and the loop. So this is your DHU arm and the loop. And the last one is the anticodon arm and the loop. Okay, and the fifth arm is the rarely small arm is present, is called the variable arm. So rarely small arm is actually there in the tRNA. This is called the variable arm. Okay, so the 5' end has the methylated guanosine. This 5' end has the methylated guanosine, and 3' end has 3 free nitrogenous base, that's CCA. Okay, so each arm actually has paired base pairs stem and unpaired base pairs loop. After that, this amino acid acceptor arm has 7 base pairs and 3 unpaired base pairs, that CCA at 3' end. Just CCA at 3' end. Okay, and therefore amino acid always binds to adenine, which present at the 3' end. Okay, next thing is the T-Saisi arm and the loop contains some unusual sequence of nucleotides. Okay, like the thymine, like the pseudouridine and the cytosine. It helps to bind the ribosome at the time of the protein synthesis. Next thing is the DHU arm and the loop. This is the DHU arm and the loop actually contains the dihydrouridine, and it helps to recognizing specific amino acid activating enzymes amino acid synthesis. Okay, so this anticodon loop contains 7 unpaired nitrogenous bases. This anticodon loop actually contains 7 unpaired nitrogenous bases. Among them, 3 nucleotides actually act as anticodon, which are complementary to the codon mRNA. So this portion actually your anticodon portion. So suppose this is the one sequence is there like CGA, this is your anticodon sequence. So for the mRNA, in the mRNA, this is your tRNA. Okay, so codon is present in the mRNA, and in the codon portion, so you have to write GCU. Okay, this is your codon sequence. So function, what is the main function of the tRNA? That it carries the specific amino acid towards the site of the protein synthesis. It carries the specific amino acid towards the site of the protein synthesis. So this is your actually the normal, this is actually your real structure of the tRNA which is present in our body, and this is your tRNA, and this is important for your exam. This is important, this diagram is also important for your exam. Okay, next thing is the ribosomal RNA. So these are RNA actually the structural and the functional unit of the ribosome. This rRNA is actually the structural and functional unit of the ribosome, and it represents nearly 80% of the total RNA in the cell. It represents nearly 80% of the total RNA in the cell. Okay, so this is your ribosomal RNA, and this RNA actually helps during the time of the translation procedure. Okay, so this is your today's class. Today actually we have discussed so many things. The first thing is the gene concept. Again we have discussed gene concept, and second thing is the genetic codon. This genetic codon is very important for your exam. So many 1 mark question maybe there from this portion. Next thing is the Clover-Leaf model of the tRNA. This is next thing is the Clover-Leaf model of the tRNA and the ribosomal RNA, and the functions of the tRNA and rRNA. In our next class we will discuss translation procedure, and please go through each and every videos properly, because each and every videos are actually interlinked with each other. Why? Because this chapter is quite tricky and difficult for all of you. So that's why please follow all the videos properly, and if you have any queries just ask me immediately. Okay, thank you, bye.